So I'm here today with Doug Redler, the author of The Guitarist's Guide to Maintenance and Repair, and also the guitar tech to a couple pretty big stars. Like
Yeah.
Rich Robinson and Black Rose, Slash.
Yes, sir. I've got a question for you about humidity and acoustic guitars. When I'm on the road, all the bands I work with, we carry a lot of acoustic guitars with us, especially the Black Rose. We have about 15 acoustic guitars on the road. And in the winter, I really have a tough time. The guitars dry out, they crack, the bridge will start peeling up, the frets get sharp. What can I do about this?
All right, good question. Especially with acoustics, you have to humidify them. So it's not if they're gonna become damaged if you're not humidifying, it's when they're gonna become damaged. In the most basic form, the easiest thing to use is the GH by D'Addario. It's a Soundhole humidifier, and it's as simple as taking the sponge, moistening it in the sink, wringing it out just so that it doesn't drip inside the guitar. You don't want that. Place it back into the canister, put the lid on. Now you're just gonna put it between the two middle strings of the acoustic, and it will just sit there. Now what's gonna happen is the moisture from the sponge is now going to disperse, get into the wood, and keep that guitar from drying out.
And what about the guitar? Could it stay in its case while this is in there?
It really should. To get the most out of it, if you keep it in the case, then it's in a confined environment. So now the sponge is just going to go to the guitar and actually the case as well. If you keep the guitar out on a stand or up on a wall, this sponge is going to try to humidify the whole room and it's going to dry out a lot quicker. And then the other thing you should be using is a hygrometer. So this is the HTS, and what this will do is monitor the humidity and the temperature for you. Now the best conditions for a guitar is roughly in the 70s as far as temperature, and then for humidity you want to try to keep it between 40% and 50% humidity.
So Rob, this is great, and when I'm on the road I'm going to be able to monitor this and I'm going to be able to moisten the sponge whenever I need to. But I have a bunch of guitars at home, so what do I do in the winter about that? How can I maintain them since I'm not going to be there to be able to look after it?
The easiest thing to do if you're not going to be around, you want a longer lasting solution, is to use the two-way humidification system. What these packets do, they actually automatically maintain 50% humidity. So if the humidity goes a little bit above, they'll actually start absorbing moisture. And if it goes below, they'll actually start dispensing moisture. So they're as easy as taking two of the packets, it comes with three, two go into Soundhole, one goes underneath the headstock, close up the case, because you got to keep the case closed, otherwise they're going to get used up a little faster. But the great thing about it is that in a normal environment, they'll last about 3 to 4 months, and you know your guitar is going to be at 50%, which is perfect for guitars.
Great, well thanks Rob.
You got it, man.